We all know the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, but I don't think we realize how old it is. When did the choir begin?
The choir traces its roots to 1847 when the first Mormon pioneers came into the Salt Lake Valley. There was a conference held 3 weeks after that, and there was a choir that was organized, mostly men, but still a choir nonetheless, and we have had a standing choir here in Salt Lake City ever since. The building that the choir takes its name from, the Tabernacle, was built in 1867, so if you want to trace it to the exact building that we perform in, that's the date.
The original choir, I'm sure, was not as big as the choir is nowadays.
That's right. The choir has fluctuated over time. It had its largest increase probably after a group of Welsh pioneers came and had the biggest impetus there. But for a number of years it was 150, and it went to 200, and then to 300. And today there are 362 seats in the choir loft here in Salt Lake City, and that's the number of people that we have in the choir is 360.
I'm very pleased to be able to talk with you as a representative of the choir because for years I have wondered, and I'm sure the answer is practice, 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 but I've wondered how such a large choir can be so precise in its singing.
Well, we do rehearse, but maybe not much as you might think. Generally, we rehearse for 2 hours on Thursday night and then for 2.5 hours on Sunday morning, which includes our weekly half-hour radio and TV program, Music and the Spoken Word. A couple of years ago, we were faced with this issue of how do we do everything that the choir is asked to do, and we increased our audition requirements. The level of musicianship is very high in the choir, but we also do something called choir school, where when someone is accepted as a member of the choir, they first participate in 16 weeks of training every Tuesday and every Thursday, and there's a 100% attendance requirement during those 16 weeks where they have almost a graduate level program in choral music, sight singing, deportment for television, rehearsal techniques, singing on pitch, music composition, etc. So between the high standards of musicianship and our choir school experience, that's what enables us to do what we do in the minimal amount of time we have with such great precision.
Let me ask you about your repertoire. How is that chosen?
Well, the choir sings music, we always say, from Bach to Broadway, and when we're on tour, that's what we try to do. We always like to, in our concert programs, show that the choir has the musical expertise to do everything in this whole genre. So we will always start the concert with some hymns and some classical music. Hymn is our musical tradition, and then we will have a section of American folk hymns and spirituals, and some additional music from the masters from around the world. And then in this particular concert, we're doing a large section of music from the American Songbook, so several different numbers from Broadway shows that most people will recognize. And then we finish with our signature pieces of Come, Come Ye Saints, for which the choir is well known, and then Battle Hymn of the Republic, for which the choir won a Grammy Award in 1959.
And how about the arrangements of some of these pieces? Who does those?
We are very fortunate in the fact that our music director, Mac Woolberg, is one of the preeminent composers and arrangers in the U.S., if not the world today. And so he has this knack of taking a wonderful old piece of music and taking it and making a great arrangement out of it. So many of the pieces are arranged by our own conductor. We have the benefit of him knowing exactly how to showcase this choir as best as possible. And then on this tour, we have a couple of pieces by our new associate conductor, Ryan Murphy, who joined us 2 years ago.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to your return here after, I think, half a century or so.
That's right. We've never been in Norfolk before, although we've been in Richmond and other places, so we're very, very pleased. And the people of Norfolk have just been very, very welcoming. We have a large number of seats in that Scope Arena, but there are only a few left, so if people are interested, they should act quickly.
Yes, the interest in this concert began as soon as it was announced, and I'm sure there'll be an appreciative and full house waiting for you.
We can't wait. It's our first stop on tour, and it'll be a wonderful show.
It will indeed, I'm sure. Thank you very much for talking with us, Scott.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dwight.